Hello.
Hello, Justin. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, I would say.
It's good that you found a place to eat now, that you're all set for lunch.
Breakfast, technically.
Breakfast. It's 20 past 11.
Well, when you go camping and you have no food packed with you, the first meal still counts as breakfast, I think.
I'm surprised because you used to keep some food from each meal so that you had a little food when you were on your own.
No food stashed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be smart planning.
What's the weather like? You are in Croatia right now.
Oh, we're in delightful sun right now, and I'm so happy about that.
Was it the same the last few days, or?
Well, yesterday was mixed sun and cloud. Before that was pretty much all cloud, and it changes the pace of everything, but it sure brings your moods and spirits high when there's sun and you're on a solar bicycle. And every time you stop for a bit, your battery comes back more charged, and yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Cool. Well, especially since you have quite a heavy bike altogether. I noticed this morning, I saw your story on the group WeChat we have about the freewheel that you got a repair last night. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, we've had an unbelievable experience in Croatia. One of the mechanical things on our bike that I was kind of most nervous about from the beginning was the freewheel that links the rolling system to the pedaling system, because it's always going backwards, forwards, and that's a pretty harsh thing to deal with mechanically. So when we built the unit before I left, I always planned to have a backup piece with me, but it was working good enough it wasn't top priority. And then, as you know, on our initial trip to Chamonix, we had that freewheel that was built in failed, but Guillaume had enough tools to be able to remove the broken part inside, continue using it, and I have my team in Vancouver. They're going to be preparing a replacement for us, but obviously that didn't get built and shipped to us in time. And then yesterday it finally happened where the freewheel we were using stopped working. And then we searched on Google. We're in just the tiniest little towns in Croatia right now, pretty near the border with Serbia. Lots and lots of abandoned houses, no big commercial centers. And so searched bicycle repair, found a thing on Google that was about 30 kilometers away, and we had enough battery just to motor there without human power. And we get there and it's just a house. And then we're like, this can't be right. What's going on? It says it's a bicycle repair store. And then on the side of the house, you see this tiny little sign that says bicykleta something repair. It was easy enough to understand. So we knocked and had so little hope of anything. And an older man answers the door, and I had pre-translated on my phone, hey, we're touring from Canada. We have a bicycle problem, wondering if you can help us repair it. And luckily enough, he has enough English that he was able to talk. Say, oh no, not me, but my son. And then he picks up his cell phone, phones his son, who was out celebrating. It's a national day in Croatia yesterday. And 10 minutes later, his son shows up, and sure enough, shows us to his backyard garage, and it's just packed with various bicycle parts and tools, and he's been running a side business as the only person in town that services and fixes bicycles. And through miracle of good fortune, he had just the pieces we need, including a single speed freewheel and all the machinery tools to disassemble and unscrew the old one. And so while he was doing all that, he insisted on me not helping. Then his father told us all of his story. He's a multi-generational Croatian. Has been living in that little house all along, and it was just such a marvelous experience. Wow. And then they refused any kind of offers of payment for that. They were just very happy to help some travelers and share their little stories of life in Croatia.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing that you don't have to go very far to actually experience so much hospitality when you're on a long trip like that.
No, and that's been our experience all along. And I mentioned, part of why we've had such a difficulty, our goal has been to make 200 kilometers a day, and we've only succeeded in that about half of the days. And we keep not making it because of hospitality. We're running into people. And in Slovenia, I just stopped for I just said, Anne, so I need a 10-minute nap. I'm so tired. I just like spotted the nearest patch of grass. I laid down, and then I woke up, and there's all this commotion around me, and I couldn't quite figure out what was happening if I was still dreaming. And there's a family setting up a picnic table right beside us. They brought out a whole bunch of baked goods and food, and they apparently, while I was napping, one of the farmers saw our trike, chatted with Anne, so he took a little delight, and then they just came out to give us a marvelous little picnic on the grass, and then their son is a super talented accordion musician, so he came out and played a bunch of songs, and then they were telling us all of the stories of their local region of Slovenia, the local flowers, some exotic lizards.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's been such a, and Slovenia was interesting because one of the things that we get on our trike is such an enormous reaction from people that we pass because it's such an unusual vehicle. Like solar bicycles are odd in the first place, so when it's a back-to-back tandem with one person rowing, it's a one-of-a-kind sight. And in Italy, it was just a huge, everybody on the streets would be taking photos, cheering, thumbs up, waving, the whole shebang. Cars would follow us. They'd be filming from their window. Then we'd hit a roundabout. We would keep going straight. They would do a U-turn and go back. So they were just following us for no reason than to follow us and take photos. But then once we hit Slovenia, what's that?
We're expecting to see a lot of photos of you pop here and there on social media. Look at this strange
I can't imagine what's going on in Italian social media right now. But then once we hit Slovenia, it was just an instant change, and everyone just kind of looked at us with a mild hint of curiosity, but no visible reaction or enthusiasm of any kind. So it was really nice to see, it's just a very different cultural response to unusual sights or creative things, but it was really nice to then have that actual experience of a Slovenian really showing their local.
I see that you are heading towards Turkey, so I suppose that hospitality will become even more apparent. I'm wondering, what are your next stages? Where are you going to pass? What's the itinerary?
So we totally changed up our initial itinerary. We were planning on going straight south from Croatia and following the coast of the Balkans. But when the route looked beautiful, apparently it is beautiful, but it's super mountainous, and the mountains are great. Like our bike, we can haul up mountains going through the Alps in Switzerland. We were rocketing past everyone, but that only works when we have great sunshine. And if we have gray, cloudy skies, it's a brutal vehicle to climb with. And so we didn't want to take a gamble that the weather would be perfect all the way down. So we changed our route to now head into Turkey via, actually you would probably know better than me. So now we're following the border with Serbia, which we'll be crossing. And so, can you look at that map?
Well, if you are following the same route that I did in 2013, which you are on the same stretch right now, you're heading towards Belgrade, and then you have a choice of going through the Eurovelo 6 roads, or following the Danube, the Donau River, or to go down towards Sofia. I'm not sure which one you will prefer, but...
Okay, well, I might have Anne-Sophie get in touch with you to solicit advice. So you've been on the exact road that we're taking right now, then?
Yes, the Slavonski Brod is pretty much the biggest town that you will find between Zagreb and Belgrade, and I've been there a few times, actually, even hitchhiking.
Oh, wow.
Well, we can talk about that maybe outside of this phone call. Now,
sure.
I would invite you, if you have anything to say to your friends and relatives, people that might be listening to this call in Canada, your colleagues maybe at Grin Technology.
Sure. I have a huge thing to say. I'm so sorry for not being in touch. I have my email communication is backlogged by months. I have all these things I've been wanting to share and talk with about. One thing that I've learned from this trip is that covering 200 kilometers in a day is a huge endeavor in and of itself. I don't know how those teams at the front doing upwards of 300 pull it off, but I think it's a determined focus with no distraction. And so normally I like to sit at a computer for a couple hours with a desk and some privacy and then just get away and communicate virtually, keeping the team back in Vancouver and all of my friends, colleagues, and family updated on things. And I think next time we do a trip like this, we should really schedule in a rest day once a week. We're not rolling. We can find a nice cafe or library, and then have those moments to update the rest of the world on where we're at and all the other things going on. So I hope everyone's getting by fine. It seems like our shop is still up and running, and I think the team at Grin in Vancouver is doing a great job holding the fort during the busy summer season. That's my message to them.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this call. I hope you have a nice day cruising in Croatia and crossing the border. And if you want, we can talk about your route in private.
How's about route? I think that's a great idea. I'll have Anne-Sophie get in touch with you. She's our master navigator.
All right.
I'll let you get to your 11:30 appointment. But thanks for the call, Anick. And thanks again to you and all this other Suntrip people for giving us this opportunity. It's been really a fabulous experience, and I think it's only going to get better as we continue on the journey.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.